we will explain the first lesson from the teachings that Robert Kiyosaki learned from his rich dad, and which is why he became one of the wealthiest individuals today. In this video, I'm certain that your perspective on money will change after this video. We ended in the previous video when the rich dad said to Robert Kiyosaki, "I will give you the first lesson out of the 6 lessons that will lead you to wealth," and that lesson was a phrase that personally changed my entire life, and I began to see money the way the wealthy do. The first lesson: the wealthy do not work for money. Money works for them. The wealthy do not work for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and 11 hours a year to earn money. Instead, money works for them even while they are asleep. The wealthy have assets, businesses, stores, stocks, real estate, and intellectual property, like books they write and publish worldwide. Money, my friend, works for them. This sentence, if you think about it deeply, will change all your future plans. Most people only know to study in school, graduate, and get a job until they are 60. Let me clarify something. Your reactions to the events that happen in your life shape your future. What does that mean? It means that from the time you were a child until now, you have encountered many situations. For example, someone you love passing away, or experiencing an accident. In these moments, you have a reaction. You might fall into depression, while another person moves on and continues their life. Another example: imagine you graduate from university and a company offers you a job, but with the condition that you work there for 10 years. Here, your reaction to that offer will completely change your future. So you might ask, what is the connection between this concept and the book? I will tell you. Now that we've seen the dialogue between Robert Kiyosaki and the rich dad, Robert Kiyosaki returned home and said that he didn't tell his father that he would work without pay because his father's mindset was that of a poor person, and he wouldn't accept such a thing. He says that after 3 weeks, for the first time, we saw the father of Mike, the rich dad, stop in front of the store. It was the first time we saw the father of Mike at the store. He says we went inside, headed to the ice cream freezer, bought 2 ice creams for us, and said, "Let's relax a bit, kids." We went to a public park near the store, and he asked us how we were doing and if we were managing well without money. We said we were fine. He said to us, "Well done, kids. I think you've grasped the first lesson, and this will benefit you greatly." He continued, "Kids, I don't want you to fall into the trap of a job like Mrs. Martin," referring to the woman who runs the store. He said, "You see, she's over 45 years old and works here, and even though she's a manager, every Saturday she waits in line to report on the store's status, and sometimes I'm satisfied and sometimes I'm not. So, her life ended up being like that, and I don't want you to make the same choice." We asked him, "What's the problem?" "She's a respectable woman, and she works hard, and this is the salary she gets for that effort." He replied, "I agree with you, kids. She is respectable, and her job is respectable. There's no doubt about that, but it's not the best choice for her. She could live a better life." And he said, "What do you think if I give you not 25 cents an hour, but $25 an hour?" Robert says his heart began to race, but he and Mike exchanged glances and realized this was a trap, so they confidently said, "No." He said, "All right then, instead of 25 cents an hour, how about $1 an hour? Do you agree?" Robert says his heart nearly leapt out of his chest, but still they said, "No, we don't want that." He said, "All right then, instead of $1 an hour, what if I offer you $5 an hour? Do you agree?" Robert says he thought his heart stopped at that point. $5 an hour in 1956 would have made them among the wealthiest people in the world. Even adults wouldn't earn $5 an hour, and yet we said no because we knew it was a trap. He then said, "Excellent, excellent, I'm very impressed with you." And that's when he began to share the important lesson. And this is where you'll understand the connection between your reactions and the first lesson. The rich dad said, "All people around the world want to obtain money for 2 emotions. The first emotion is desire, meaning a person has wants, a new gadget, a luxury car, a new house, or the desire to travel. The second emotion is fear, the fear of not having money, of not having food, of having obligations and family responsibilities that require money. So, it's both the emotion of desire and the emotion of fear. He says that the difference between the wealthy and the poor lies in their reactions to these 2 emotions. For example, if you ask someone from the middle or lower class what they would do if they lost their income today, the usual answer would be, "I would look for another job." They spend 12 years in school and 4 or more years in college. And after graduating, the first thing they do is look for a job. But the bigger issue is that they believe this is the safe source of income, and their reaction to the emotion of fear is to seek employment and earn money. On the other hand, the wealthy have a different response. Their reaction to these emotions isn't about looking for a job. Instead, they look for something to sell or something to produce in order to earn money. You might ask, but what if I have no capital? And I would say, yes, even without capital. And here's the idea. It's not that having a job is a problem or something shameful. No, what Robert Kiyosaki wants to convey in the book is that you can't rely solely on a job to make you rich or to serve as your secure source of income. He wants you, even if you have a job today, to look for business ideas that generate money for you, even while you're earning a salary. Think about making money work for you rather than you working for money. That's the message he wants to get across. A job isn't the best way to get rich, and it isn't the best way to achieve financial freedom. And if you do have a salary now, make the best use of it, even though it can often be consumed by obligations. And that's exactly what the rich dad said. You'll find people who earn very high salaries, but still have lots of debt and obligations. So there's a problem with relying solely on a salary. After the rich dad finished the lecture, he told us to use our minds to find ways of making money without working for it. Then we returned to the store, and we had just one phrase on our minds. The wealthy do not work for money. Money works for them. Use your mind. The wealthy do not work for money. Money works for them. Use your mind. And one day, a truck brought us a children's story magazine, and when it was finished, a box of the children's story magazines was added. Its purpose was promotional, and it was not allowed to be sold. It was only for display or given as an extra gift. When Mike and I heard this, a brilliant idea struck us, and we went to see Mrs. Martin. We asked her, "Would you allow us to use these stories?" She said, "Yes, sure, but on the condition that you don't sell them." We replied, "Of course, definitely." We took the box of stories and carried it to Mike's house, into the basement. We cleaned the place thoroughly, set up bookshelves, and created a children's story library. We invited the neighborhood kids and our friends to come over and paid 10 cents to sit for 2 hours and read as many stories as they wanted during that time. The demand was huge because it was such an appealing offer, and Mike and I earned $60 a week, so much that we even hired Mike's little sister to help organize the library, paying her $1 a week. Meanwhile, Mike and I worked at the store without any pay, and we had money working for us at Mike's house. This project continued for 3 months, until it eventually ended due to conflicts among the children. But we learned the lesson well and realized that a job isn't the best way to earn money. Instead, you need to create a system that makes money for you. We asked her, "Would you allow us to use these stories?" She said, "Yes, sure, but on the condition that you don't sell them." We replied, "Of course, definitely." We took the box of stories and carried it to Mike's house, into the basement. We cleaned the place thoroughly, set up bookshelves, and created a children's story library. We invited the neighborhood kids and our friends to come over and pay 10 cents to sit for 2 hours and read as many stories as they wanted during that time. The demand was huge because it was such an appealing offer, and Mike and I earned $60 a week, so much that we even hired Mike's little sister to help organize the library, paying her $1 a week. Meanwhile, Mike and I worked at the store without any pay, and we had money working for us at Mike's house. This project continued for 3 months, until it eventually ended due to conflicts among the children. But we learned the lesson well, and realize that a job isn't the best way to earn money. Instead, you need to create a system that makes money for you.